everyone, and welcome to the Preschool All-Stars podcast. I am Bethany Johnson, and I am joined today by Christen Pointer. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to speak with you. So one thing that I always do before I get to hear your story and what's going on in your life now is I always like to get the deets on what was going on before you decided to embark on this preschool journey. What's your background and what was happening?
Okay, well, let's rewind like a lot because I have over 20 years experience in a daycare. So
okay.
That's where I started. I literally my first job was 13 at a summer camp. And
wow.
From there, I went to a daycare, and then I stuck around there for a few years and went to college for education. I actually stopped because I was blessed to meet my wonderful husband. We got married, and baby came very shortly after, and now we have a family of 4.
Ooh, wonderful.
Yes. My not so little one just graduated and going to high school.
Wow.
I know. I'm so excited. It's like bittersweet. It's like, oh my God, you're growing up, but like, stop, right?
Oh my gosh. Totally. I just had a baby 3 months ago and I already feel like that. I'm like, oh my gosh. Every day I wake up and I'm like, your face is different. Oh my God.
Yes. Oh my God. My youngest is going to be 1 in about 2 weeks. So
wow. Yeah, totally. So much changes so quickly. It's crazy.
Yes. So after that, I went ahead and started making plans to come up with like how to open up a daycare, and I didn't have space of my own, so that kind of was like the reason why I didn't start sooner.
Okay.
Fast forward a few years and we moved to California, and I'm like, oh great, now I can do it because I was in an apartment that was going to approve it. Well, the problem was there was no like bail or something that I needed, so when the state came out, that's what stopped it. So there's always something that got in the way. And
you mean like for licensing? Is that what it was?
Yes, for licensing, because I was going to try to do local. And so because I lived in that particular building and it had no way of me getting contact with people except for like if they were to call me versus like a bail or something. So like if something happens in a different part of the building for like fire and everything, they were like, that's a safety issue because they can just ring the doorbell. You can go on the intercom, find out what's going on, and then come out, which makes sense, right? So I was like, oh man. So now I'm stuck, and COVID hit, and I was like, oh boy. But then Joy is wonderful, and she came up with a way to do it online. So here we are, and I started in February, and it's been amazing.
Yay, I love to hear that. Okay. So wait, hold on real quick before we get into that amazing. In California, can you have kids unlicensed at all?
Yes, I believe can have up to 4.
Okay.
Unlicensed.
Okay.
Or it's like up to 4 kids, not including your own, but from one family type of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it wouldn't work.
Really specific. So it wouldn't have worked out for me because a lot of the people that I knew were from separate families. Like we can try it, but like
I mean, if you're doing it all from one family, then that's kind of just like being like a nanny tutor kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So that wouldn't be much income either.
Right. Yeah.
To like try to produce more income, you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
And so I mean, it's a good thing, right? Because you're helping someone, but you're not reaching out as much.
Yeah, it's not what you're looking for. Yeah. Okay, so online was perfect for you, and tell us how that's going. What's going? You started that in February. Did you do a challenge? Did you want to Joy's challenges?
I did do the challenge.
Okay. How did you find Joy?
I'm an OG, sort of.
Oh, nice. Okay. Love the OG.
I've been following her for quite some time. Like, I don't know. She said she started this out in 2009, and I came on board right after I had my daughter or something, about 2012.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah. Oh, gee. All right.
yeah,
Did you get the book then, or did you just
I
recently
do
get
have
the
the
book?
first book, which is why
Okay.
I was trying to do the local at first.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. So then did you get the second book with the online
of
stuff?
course, got the second book. Get the second book.
Of course. Okay. Okay. So you got the book and then you decided that's what you're going to do. So what was the next step after that? You did the challenge?
Um, I did do a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I did not complete it the first time.
That's all right. That's
But
all
it's
right.
okay because you just keep going, right?
Keep going. Keep
So
going.
life happened. I had to take a break from it. And so then I did the challenge again. And I
Okay.
finally was successful for
Perfect.
doing everything. And that
Yep.
was super major big step for me because there was a lot of other things happening in life, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna let that deter me. I'm
Yeah.
going to stay
Eye on the
focused.
prize.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for that to happen, it was amazing. It was a great feeling. I had the support of my lovely husband and my kids. So that was awesome. We did like a little mini party type of thing, dance party anyway.
I love a good dance party. I sure
Yes, a
do.
good dance. And so it was just so awesome to have my kids watch me go through the process. And now I have both of my little ones saying they want to start businesses of their own. So
Yes.
what a great moment, right?
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Yes. Have your kids look up to you starting a business and then they want to be entrepreneurs. That's awesome. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So setting a great example for your kids. I mean, just that alone is amazing. That's what we all want to do, right? Yeah.
So during the challenge, the founding family script was getting a lot of traction, and a lot of people were like, I'm interested, I want to do it, right? But then I ended up finding a family all the way in Florida. See, that's the wonderful thing about online.
How did that happen?
People. I'm in a couple of networking groups and I started promoting myself there. And they were like, oh yes, we're doing this. And they signed up and it was awesome. She had their siblings. So she had the two siblings, they're twins. And they just celebrated their 5th birthday and they're off to kinder. And so we had our cute little graduation ceremony and everything. And it was super sweet. It was bittersweet though. Because, I'm a small startup, right? So now it's more like, okay, on to the next family. Well, God is so good. He sent me 2 more, another twin set, boy and girl as well. So so I guess, I mean, maybe I should just change it to the twins jumping beans. We got totally coming here strong.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny if you had a whole school of twins. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. I couldn't have any of my own. It's always been a dream. So to teach, it's like amazing. And you see the differences and the similarities, and it's amazing. And I love it. And it just goes to show like how it can be a bit difficult to not have that the twin thing happening all the time, where they're like bickering and going back and forth and trying to figure out, you know, who's going to be on top this time.
Were they on separate computers?
So at the beginning they were, and then grandma needed to work, so then she started putting them both on the same computer.
Okay.
That was fun.
Did you just see them like pushing and shoving each other?
You know what? The dance parties are always really live when they're in the same room. Okay.
Yeah.
One time there was an injury, and I was all, oh no, what happened?
Hey, sometimes
off camera
dancing can get crazy.
Yes. So anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I've had 2. I also do tutoring, and I had 1 student for that, and that was wonderful as well. He was in the 1st grade, and he was all the way in Iowa. So none of my kids were here in my home state.
Wow.
It was pretty awesome. I was able to reach and touch more families and lives. And they've been amazing, and they're promoting me, and that's amazing. And so I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I mean, it's always been like a joy of mine to teach other people's children. And like now I'm homeschooling my own and teaching others. That's even more joy for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do your little ones join in when you teach?
Yes, they do. And it's quite funny because then I have they're only 2 years apart. So I kind of have the twin thing going with them too. And so they're bickering who's going to read this story or who's going to do this dance first. Yeah. So what I've done is before class starts, I give assignments now, and it's wonderful. It all works out.
Good. You got to make it work. However works, you got to make it work.
Yes.
Awesome. So do you have like a niche for your preschool? Is it like regular preschool concepts? Do you have something specific that you focus on?
Okay. So our academy is reading literacy, early reading literacy. And so we do everything from recognition of our alphabet all the way through to reading simple sentences. And I have a really good I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Like a good way that I'm doing it.
Okay.
So basically we start off with recognition, and then we move on to phonics. And from phonics, we go to CVC words and sight words, and then simple sentences.
Okay.
So they always build up on the confidence level, and it's not all at once. I'm not going to sit up there and tell your preschooler to just start reading a 4-page book, right? That would be a lot. That's overwhelming. You introduce things a little bit at a time and build up on those skills, and it always helps to go ahead and move on to the next level, and they're confident already, and it helps build confidence. Now, in my situation, I had twins, and so there's always one that's a little bit more quick than the other. So I learned to use names because that's very important, and it helps them also to feel confident in themselves and give the other child an opportunity, because there's always one that's, you know, a little bit more reserved, and there's always one that's really outgoing.
Yeah.
And so that's even with just siblings, because it happens with my children as well. So in order to go against that, I just went ahead and flipped it. And instead of allowing them to just shout it out, because I always had that one that was shouting it out, I started using names. And so that was a teaching moment as well. So to make everything a little bit more personalized, I know that this child is struggling with this skill, and this child is struggling with this skill. So I went ahead, and when I was exercising that skill or trying to get them to exercise that skill, I'd flip it. All right, it's Riley's turn, or all right, it's Ryan's turn, or okay, it's Melanie's turn. You know what I mean? Versus letting them sit there and feel, you know, like they're not getting a turn.
Yeah, totally.
Discouraged. And I don't want that to be the case, especially since I've dealt with that in my own children's schooling. So it was a big thing for me to make sure that I don't become that drowned out in like what's going on with that child. Like that I'm very observant over who needs help in what area, and then also making sure that everyone feels included, because I don't want anybody to not be included.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So what's your setup like? When do you teach it? What's your prices? Tell me all that.
Okay, so I recently just revamped my prices because I only have people. Well, yeah. Like I actually only have people signing up for my 4-day classes. So I've actually cut out my 2 and 3-day classes because they weren't really what my people are looking for. So what I ended up doing was doing 4 days a week for $160 a month. That's you know, a reasonable price. And here in California, like, people got it. I'm not really worried about that. You know what I mean? And I kept it where it was a reasonable price for people, even in other states where they might not have the extra money
Right.
to pay $400 for a program or in-person program or whatever. You know what I mean? I wanted to keep it low, but I wanted to be able to make sure that I'm supporting my family as well.
Of course. Yeah. And so you do it 4 days a week, you said? And
Yes.
how is it, half-hour lessons or an hour?
Oh, I do 1 hour lessons.
Okay.
I have 2 classes
Okay.
because I actually have 4 classes, but I'm able to combine for age groups.
Okay.
So I have my cotton candies and my blue razzies, and
Oh,
those.
that's cute. And how old are they? Are those?
They are between 1.5 and 2, and then
Oh,
yes, I start really young because I feel
yeah.
like early literacy skills are necessary, and it'll build confidence really early, and they'll be able to learn how to read with ease. Whereas if I'm waiting, then I have a play catch up, but catching up isn't that difficult either. And then we have our I have a kindergarten program, and then I have my sugar plums. So my sugar plums are my 4, and my kinder kiwis are my 5s, and I combine them. So I have a 9 a.m. for my younger group. So before nap time, most of them are able to do it before nap time. And then I have a 10:30 group right after. And so 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. and then 10:30 until 11:30. And it even translates where it works out when they're in other places in the world.
Yeah. Okay, cool. How do you find doing an online class with 1.5-year-olds?
So I did have one. And she was a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
It's basically I have my little puppet friends that help them. I would be able to get it, but it's kind of buried right now.
That's okay.
But yes, I have 2 puppet friends. I have Bounce the bunny, and then I have Booma the kangaroo.
Nice.
So I feel like those are easy names for like my 1.5s and up to 2-year-olds to say. So I feel like those were easy names, and like if they can call out their friend's name, right, then it makes them remember what that friend taught them. And I actually used Booma and Bounce for calendar time, and then our alphabet of the day. And yes, I do sight words as well, so the 1-letter and 2-letter sight words, and they were very instrumental in teaching those, and they even sometimes joined me for story time.
Nice. Oh, I gotta get some puppets. I like that idea.
Yes. Puppets are awesome, and especially when you're doing a younger group of kids. They need something more interactive than you just getting really loud and happy in the camera.
Which I can totally do, but puppets are always more fun.
Yes, puppets are much more fun.
Yeah. When I was doing still teaching with the district, but right when the pandemic happened, I had like 3 months left, and my district like didn't know what to do, and we were like all scrambling. So I started putting out YouTube videos for my first graders, just like read alouds that they could watch and art lessons. And I had one video where I got my husband to go. I had a little puppet stand already in the preschool because I wasn't open yet, but I was preparing for it. And so I made him go with all these animals, these farm animals, and I dramatically read Old MacDonald, and he used the puppets.
That's awesome. I love it.
I wore a little farmer hat, and then we drew a cow, and it was one of my favorite videos.
That's awesome. It sounds amazing. I need more puppets. I literally only have those 2, but you make me want to get more.
Yeah, I have a bunch of hand puppets that I put in the reading area so they can, use them to. Yeah, but
I recently did this creative little bit right here with my kinders. Well, they're going to kinder now, but yes. And so it's basically I read Brown Bear, and they have.
Oh, nice. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah. And then they also have, I gave them cutouts. I hand drew. Oh my gosh. I was like, don't.
Oh, girl. Look at you.
But yeah, I hand drew all of the animals.
Oh my gosh. I would not have thought you hand drew that.
I didn't hand draw this, but I did use this. So I could hand draw the other.
Right.
And I hand drew those onto gave them popsicle sticks in their kit.
Yeah.
the purple paper with the drawing on it, or whatever color the animal is supposed to be with the drawing on it. So then they can make puppets and actually act it out if they wanted to. Because I mean, one puppet is cute, right? But if you have everybody play a part,
yeah,
right? They come from a big family. They live with cousins, and I wanted everybody to be involved.
Yeah.
So I actually sent 3 kits out to them because they had another cousin that was supposed to join the program. And so grandma had already paid for his kit and everything. So I was like, okay, no problem. If he has to drop, I'll still send his kit. So I sent everything in his kit. I sent everything for them all to do that project, along with a little arts and crafts of little animals and stuff, because we had been talking about animals. And so I was super excited to hear when they got it that they loved it.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Tell me more about the kits. What else do you put in the kits? And how often do you send them?
I actually have, because I was only open for 4 months, because I started in February and then school ended in June.
Okay.
So I literally only send out 2 kits, but in those kits, it was the arts and crafts kits that I just told you about. And then also there was a welcome kit. The welcome kit had a paddle board, pencil, scissors, encouraging stickers, a pencil bag for all of their little things, Play-Doh, and I think there was one thing that I said scissors, right? Crayons, for sure, crayons. And I think like I know I'm forgetting something else, but yeah, it was full of goodies for them to use. Oh, the dry erase marker to go with the board. And the board also played a secondary part. It also was for them to use their Play-Doh, so that when I say, okay, can you make this shape, then they don't have to worry about finding a hard surface. They don't have to worry about it getting in their carpet. It's a little tiny dollar store Play-Doh, because you don't want to send that much Play-Doh where it's like a prop.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson from that one too.
Okay.
So I did the little dollar store Play-Doh with the paddle board that's also a dry erase board, and it's been perfect. I also sent a sketch pad, which wasn't really a sketch pad. It was the writing pad. So they can learn how to use their fine motor skills to write their name and their alphabet. So that's what I did.
Okay. And you sent that for the kinder kids, or the kids going into kinder? Did you send a welcome kit for your other class?
Yes. I also sent that to my 1-year-old as well, minus the scissors. But everything else I felt like it was and minus the pad, the writing pad, because she doesn't need that just yet. But she did get crayons, and she did get the dry erase board, just so that she can play with her Play-Doh. When I say, okay, can you get your red Play-Doh? Let's play with that. What can you make with that? Versus, can you make this shape?
Yeah, totally.
With the older kids, it's like, show me what you can make.
Just show me the red color. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's differentiation.
Yeah, that's modifying for the age group that I'm teaching, and it's
absolutely
so much fun.
Yeah. So how many kids do you have, or did you have in your program altogether?
Altogether, I had 4. I had one that I was tutoring. I had a 1.5-year-old, and then I had 2 4-year-olds.
Okay. And then you stopped for the summer and you're on break?
I'm actually supposed to be starting on the 28th. Okay. I just got some interest for my summer camp, and it will only be 4 weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm waiting to see if that's gonna come through, and when that does, then I'll be starting on the 28th. And then it'll only be 2 more students. And then if that doesn't, then yes, I'll be off, but not really, because we're always promoting and we're always learning so that we have a great fall semester, right?
Totally. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so tell me about what are the ways that you are promoting and getting more clients? I mean, Facebook is always key.
Yes, Facebook, but also Instagram. Instagram has been amazing.
Yeah. Do you buy ads on Instagram?
I do not. I just post.
Okay.
I put them in my stories, and when I post, I make sure that it's also going to my business page on my Facebook, as well as my personal page on my Facebook, and it's in my stories. I also just wear my shirts all the time. like with my logo and
Yeah.
all my information on it. I try not to cover up my back when I have my other one on with like all the website information on the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to promote by like just everyday things. I'm always wearing a shirt. Always have a handful of cards to pass out ready to go. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's always the little things, right?
Yeah.
I cloth diaper, and so when I resell my diapers, I stick one of these cuties inside of
Oh, look
there.
at you. I love it. That's great. That's great.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that. Okay, so what are your next plans for your business?
Let's see. The next plans for my business is to finally celebrate being full, right? I mean, that is the goal for me right now. That's the short-term goal. Long-term goal, I want online and local, right? And if I can, I'd like 2 local spots, one in one area and one in another, so that I'm able to reach more children. It's all about reaching more children and helping them to build confidence in their reading skills early. The earlier, the better.
Yeah.
I mean, my oldest daughter struggles with her reading, and it's heartbreaking because I'm like, here I am teaching other people's children to read. But sometimes it's not that. As a parent, I had to learn that. It's not that. It wasn't anything that I didn't do. It was just she wasn't ready. She didn't want to learn from me. So I had to get her help elsewhere. And that's okay too. So as long as you're doing what you need to do for your students, then it's all good, right? And so just give yourself some grace there.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. We are thinking about getting a new, now that we have the garage, you know, we have it out of our garage and we've been full. So now we're talking about expanding to another part of town and making it a whole schoolhouse, which is, we're super excited about. And I just had this guy come and give me a pitch about putting my business, speaking of marketing, putting my business on grocery shopping carts. You know, there's like ads on shopping carts.
Yes.
Yeah. And he gave this.
I actually read those. I know I'm the only one that
okay. I was gonna say, I was like, you know what? I see them, like my eye catches them, but I'm like, I never actually like read them, you know.
But see, if you make them eye catching, when the little one is sitting in the back of the car, mommy, ooh, look.
Ooh, right? Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes, because my kids my son reads everything. Okay. He is like reading Magoo. He loves reading everything. And so he'll read signs, he'll read ads, he'll read his Bible, he'll read whatever he wants to read, right? Street signs, like literally with him in the car, starting from age 1.5, we were playing I Spy with letters. And so he learned to read playing games, right?
Yeah.
So as long as there's parents out there who are using these skills that they know that their children have already mastered and they don't let it fall short, I'm pretty sure somebody will say, ooh, mommy, look at this color. I see this color. Or look, mommy, I see this. What does this say? Or something, because if you make it eye-catching, especially for the child that's going to be sitting in the cart.
Totally. You know what? You're selling this way better than the guy did.
Well, I'm so grateful that I could help you with this.
Yeah, now I really want to put my business on shopping carts because you just sold me.
I need to get with you so I can put some of mine on there, okay?
Right? Seriously, man. We just found your second profession after the preschool takes off. You should also sell grocery shopping ads because you got me sold.
Sure, I'm your girl.
Yeah. So tell me how the Preschool All-Stars helped you along this journey.
Ooh, they have been amazing. Oh my goodness. So not sure if you know, but recently we had a loss in our family and everyone was so encouraging. Don't give up. You should definitely still come to the summit, because I was like, I don't know if I can do it, guys, because there's a lot happening. And they encouraged me, and I was able to make the summit live one day, the first day, but then, you know, I had obligations the next 2 days. But I was so like well received, and like it's been awesome. They've also encouraged me when I'm feeling like, oh gosh, I'm just gonna throw in the towel, it's too much, right? Because it took me like let's see, I started in October. I didn't get my first sign up until literally a week before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had already changed my date from January because no one signed up. So then I gave myself until February 16th. I literally got my first sign up like the 10th. So it was really hard. It was a really dark time. I was like, look, I'm putting all this money into this and I don't have anything coming back, right?
Yeah.
So everyone was really encouraging and just saying, keep going, don't stop, don't do it. And then I think Joy put up the gold mining or the diamond miner who was like digging for jewels. And there was one guy who's like this close, but he gives up. And then there's another guy who's like just going at it and he's not caring how much farther he has to go. And he's so much farther than the guy who already reached that point. And I was just thinking the whole time, like, okay, I'm right here at the diamonds. Just keep going, right? Just stay focused on, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It can take a year. Lord, please don't let it take a year, but it can take a year.
Yeah.
I'm committed to this process and I'm committed to making this, my dream.
Yeah. Oh man, absolutely. As long as you're committed, I mean, even if it takes a year, in a couple of years, you'll look back in that first year and you'll be like, man, it was hard and I kept going and look what I built.
Yeah. I can't wait to give myself the big pat on the back for, sticking to it and like going through everything, all the ups and downs, figuring out marketing, figuring out, how to even start the preschool, and then getting through all of the tech stuff. Oh, the tech.
That's the hardest part,
right?
Yeah. Absolutely. But it's such a gratifying feeling once you figured it out, because not only have you opened a business, but you've taught yourself, so many skills. Like people go to school just for marketing, and if you're able to figure out how to market yourself until you're full, like, boom, you did that. People go to school just for teaching. You already have that. So you already got that down. Like, there's so many skills that are involved in this that once you go through setting up the whole business process, then you've learned so many skills. And yeah, it takes a little bit to learn those skills. I mean, people literally go for years to school to learn these skills, and we're just kind of figuring it all out together. And then once you do, and you're like, wow, I marketed and filled my whole school, like on my own, like with the, with some advice from these awesome ladies, like that's so awesome that we're teaching each other how to do this stuff.
Yeah, we're one big happy family. And I love the support here. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Well, this is my favorite question to ask. I always ask it to everyone. Okay. If you could tell a lady, anyone really, who was in your position, a year ago or 6 months ago, and maybe they were a little discouraged, or they haven't even started yet and they don't know if they should start, or they're feeling all sorts of ways, what would you say to encourage them along their journey?
I would basically tell them, don't psych yourself out. It's a mind game. Okay? Yeah. Play the game, but own it. And do what you can to improve on the things that are challenging you. Don't give up and stay focused on the goal.
Yeah, stay focused. You hear that? Stay focused, ladies. Stay focused on your goal. Awesome. Well, I love hearing your story, and I can't wait to hear the rest of your story because it's not over yet. You got so much coming, girl.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best of luck, and post when you do feel it, because we will all be there to pat you on the back for it. All right?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Christian, for talking to us, and you have a great night.
If you loved today's episode, then you are going to love this. I want to give you a free gift in your hands. This is a copy of my book, Start Your Preschool, and I want to get it to you for free. Yes, I said for free. It is a 300-page book. It'll help you learn the step-by-step process to actually starting your local or your online preschool. Every single step that I walked myself through, as well as the thousands of women who've created their own successful preschools, have gone through the exact steps listed in this book. Not to mention, I also share 20 amazing women's stories, so you can see how not only did it work for me, but it works for amazing women just like you as well. I want to get you this free copy. Just go to freepreschoolbook.com or click the link in the description and we'll get it to you today. Again, just go to freepreschoolbook.com and we'll get it right to you.